Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something that we all do yet rarely admit standing in our own way. It's easy to point fingers to blame circumstances or even other people, but the real power lies in recognizing the role we play in holding ourselves back. The first step to change is always awareness. I need you to get real with yourself today. Be honest. What's that thing you've been putting off? That dream you keep shelving? The fear you keep feeding? The truth is, often we are our own worst enemy. We stop ourselves before we even start because we're afraid of failure, or sometimes we're even afraid of success. We doubt our abilities, we question our worth. And so we end up stuck looking around, wondering why life isn't moving forward, but deep down we know it's us. Here's the beautiful thing: life gives you choices. Every single day you get to choose. You choose how to show up. You choose how you react. You choose whether to stay stuck or move forward. And the sooner you realize that your choices create your reality, the sooner you reclaim your power. It's not about what happened to you. It's about how you choose to rise from it. Every choice is a vote for the kind of life you want to live. So start voting in your favor. Let's talk about fear, because I know it's there. Fear is part of being human, but it doesn't have to control your life. The secret is that you don't have to wait for fear to go away to take action. Fear fades when you move through it step by step. The more you act, the more you realize that fear has no real power unless you hand it over. So don't wait until you're fearless to start. Start now, even if your voice shakes, even if your hands tremble, just start. The way you speak to yourself matters more than anything else. If you constantly tell yourself, "I can't," guess what? You won't. But when you begin to tell yourself, "I am capable, I am worthy, I can do this," you will see a shift. That inner dialogue is the foundation for everything you will accomplish in life. If you don't believe in you, how can you expect anyone else to? So change the story you tell yourself. Turn your doubts into affirmations of your strength. I know some of you are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect version of yourself before you start moving forward. But here's the thing: perfection is an illusion. There will never be a perfect moment, and you will never be 100% ready. Stop waiting for all the stars to align. Start right where you are with what you have. Perfection isn't the goal, progress is. Your past does not define you unless you let it. If you keep dragging around old hurts, old mistakes, and old regrets, you're allowing them to shape your present and limit your future. Whatever happened yesterday, it's time to let it go. You are not your past. You are your potential. You have a future waiting for you that's so much brighter than anything behind you, but you have to be willing to step into it. And that means leaving the past where it belongs behind you. At the core of all of this is belief in yourself. Because at the end of the day, you can have all the knowledge, all the tools, all the opportunities, but if you don't believe in your own ability to succeed, none of it will matter. You have to commit to believing that you are enough, just as you are. You have to believe that you are capable of creating the life you want. When you walk with that kind of self-belief, doors open, opportunities find you, and most importantly, you get out of your own way. So today, make a promise to yourself. Stop being the obstacle in your own path. Take responsibility for your choices. Take action even when fear is present. Speak kindly to yourself. Let go of the need to be perfect and let go of the past. Above all, believe in the person you are becoming. Because that person, they're unstoppable. We have to start by looking in the mirror and owning the fact that sometimes the only person standing between where we are and where we want to be is us. It's easy to blame external factors, our circumstances, our upbringing, or the people around us. But the truth is, deep down, many of us know that we're holding ourselves back. It might be subtle procrastination, second guessing, or making excuses, or it might be more obvious fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of success. We convince ourselves that we're not ready, that we're not good enough, or that we need more time. And in doing so, we sabotage our own potential. We don't always realize we're doing it. Sometimes it shows up as staying in our comfort zone, sticking with what's familiar because it feels safe, even when deep down we know that comfort is keeping us from growing. Other times, we stop ourselves before we even get started, convinced that we'll fail or that we're not as talented, smart, or capable as others. That voice in our head, the one that tells us we're not enough, it becomes the loudest voice, and it drowns out all of the possibilities in front of us. But here's the thing: you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. You can't move past something until you admit it's there. And self-sabotage is tricky because it often disguises itself as rational thinking. You might think you're being cautious or you're simply waiting for the right moment, but in reality, you're holding yourself back from becoming who you're meant to be. When we start to recognize those patterns, those moments when we doubt, delay, or distract ourselves, we take the first step toward getting out of our own way. It's not about blaming ourselves or feeling ashamed. It's about being honest. It's about looking at our actions, our thoughts, and our habits and asking, am I the one standing in my own way? Once you see it, you can start to change it. Because when you acknowledge that the only person stopping you is you, that's when the real growth begins. You take ownership of your journey and you begin to realize that the power to move forward has always been within you. The question is, are you ready to stop standing in your own way? Every day, whether we realize it or not, we are making choices. From the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep, life presents us with countless decisions, some big, some small, but all of them shaping the course of our journey. The power of choice is one of the most extraordinary gifts we have. Yet too often we give it away. We convince ourselves that life is something happening to us, not something we are actively creating. We look at our circumstances and think this is just the way it is, but that couldn't be further from the truth. You see, we don't always get to choose what happens to us. Life can be unpredictable, and it will throw challenges our way that we never saw coming. But we do get to choose how we respond to those challenges. That's where our true power lies, in our ability to choose our attitude, our mindset, and our actions regardless of what's happening around us. It's not about what happens, it's about what we do with what happens. That's the difference between staying stuck and moving forward. When you begin to embrace the power of choice, everything changes. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstance and you start realizing that you have control over your life. Even when things are difficult, even when the odds seem stacked against you, you have the power to choose your next move. You can choose to keep going, to keep fighting for what you want, or you can choose to let the circumstances dictate your future. That choice is always yours. And it's not just about the big, life-changing decisions. It's about the small, everyday choices that add up over time. You choose how you spend your time, how you treat the people around you, and most importantly, how you treat yourself. Every decision you make, no matter how small, is a step in one direction or another. Are you moving closer to the life you want, or are you drifting further away from it? When we talk about embracing the power of choice, we're talking about taking responsibility for our lives. We're talking about realizing that no matter where we are right now, we have the power to change it. We can choose to let go of the things that are holding us back. We can choose to step out of our comfort zones and take risks. We can choose to believe in ourselves and our abilities. It's not always easy, and it's not always comfortable, but every choice you make is an opportunity to create a new reality. You may not be able to control everything in life, but you can always control how you show up for it. You can choose to see obstacles as opportunities for growth. You can choose to turn setbacks into comebacks. And you can choose to take the lessons life gives you and use them to become stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. Ultimately, your life is a reflection of the choices you make. So what will you choose? Will you choose to keep standing in your own way, or will you choose to step into your power? The decision is yours, always has been, always will be. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that can hold us back in life. It whispers to us, telling us we're not good enough, that we might fail, that we don't have what it takes. Fear is like a shadow, always lurking, waiting to keep us from stepping into the light of our true potential. But here's something you need to understand about fear. It doesn't have to disappear for you to move forward. Fear doesn't need to go away for you to take the next step. In fact, most of the time, fear is going to be there. But the key is learning how to move through it despite its presence. The mistake many of us make is waiting for the fear to subside before we act. We think once I'm not scared anymore, then I'll go for it. Then I'll go for it. Then I'll chase that dream or make that move. But the truth is, if you wait for fear to vanish, you'll never take action. Fear rarely goes away on its own. It stays as long as we let it control us. The only way to truly weaken fear's grip is by taking action in the face of it. It's not about being fearless, it's about being brave enough to act, even when you're afraid. When you take action, despite the fear, something incredible happens. You start to realize that the fear isn't as powerful as you thought it was. You begin to see that it's not the fear itself that's stopping you, but the inaction it causes. By taking that first step, by making that move, you start to strip fear of its power. With each action, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than the fear. And with each step forward, the fear becomes a little smaller, a little quieter. Fear thrives in hesitation. It grows when we stand still, overthinking, doubting ourselves, and imagining the worst possible outcomes. But the moment you take action, any action, you break the cycle. It's like flipping a switch. Fear may still be there, but it can't paralyze you when you're moving forward. The more you act, the more you realize that fear isn't an immovable wall, it's more like fog. It seems dense and overwhelming from a distance, but when you walk into it, you find that it's not solid, it's not as formidable as you thought. Action builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence. The more you do, the more you see what you're capable of. And with that confidence, fear begins to lose its hold on you. You start to trust yourself more, to believe in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. You begin to see that fear isn't something to run from, it's something to walk through. Because on the other side of that fear is everything you've been dreaming of. It's important to remember that everyone feels fear. It's a natural part of the human experience. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of fear, it's the willingness to act despite it. Those who conquer their fears aren't the ones who never feel afraid, they're the ones who feel the fear and take action anyway. They know that growth, progress, and success lie beyond their comfort zone, and they're willing to push through the fear to reach it. So if there's something you've been putting off because of fear, know this: you don't need to wait for the fear to disappear. You just need to take the first step. Take action, however small, and let that action be the thing that moves you forward. As you keep moving, fear will no longer stand in your way. You'll realize that you've always had the strength to conquer it. You just needed to act to see it for yourself. The conversations we have with ourselves are the most important conversations we will ever have. They shape our perception, influence our actions, and ultimately determine the course of our lives. Yet for many of us, the inner dialogue we carry is filled with doubt, negativity, and self-criticism. We tell ourselves things like, "I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this," or "I can't do it." These are the stories we repeat day after day, and over time, they become ingrained beliefs. But here's the thing: those thoughts are not facts. They are simply narratives we've allowed to play on a loop, and they can be changed. To move forward in life, to truly step into your potential, you have to take control of your inner dialogue. It starts with awareness. Pay attention to the way you speak to yourself in moments of challenge or uncertainty. What do you say when things don't go as planned? What's the first thought that pops into your mind when you face a setback? Often we are our own harshest critics. We say things to ourselves that we would never say to someone we care about. We beat ourselves up, focusing on our flaws and mistakes rather than our strengths and accomplishments. But if you want to change your life, you have to start by changing the way you talk to yourself. You have to replace that negative inner voice with one that is empowering and supportive. It's about shifting the narrative from "I can't" to "I can," from "I'm not enough" to "I am enough." You have to remind yourself that you are capable, that you are worthy, and that you have everything you need to succeed. This isn't about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on what you can do rather than what you can't. The words you speak to yourself matter because they become your reality. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not capable, you'll start to believe it. And when you believe it, you act accordingly. You hold back, you don't take risks, you play small. But when you start to shift that inner dialogue, when you begin to tell yourself that you are capable, strong, and deserving, your actions begin to align with that belief. You start to take bolder steps, push through challenges, and go after what you want with confidence. Changing your inner dialogue doesn't happen overnight. It's a practice, something you have to commit to every day. When those negative thoughts creep in, and they will, you have to catch them. You have to consciously replace them with thoughts that serve you, that lift you up instead of tearing you down. It's about becoming your own biggest supporter, your own cheerleader. It's about giving yourself the same encouragement and grace that you would give to someone you love. And it's not just about positive thinking, it's about speaking the truth to yourself. The truth is, you are more capable than you give yourself credit for. The truth is, you've overcome challenges before, and you will do it again. The truth is, you deserve the success and happiness you're striving for. When you start to remind yourself of these truths, your mindset shifts. You begin to see possibilities where you once saw obstacles. You start to believe in your own ability to create the life you want. Your inner dialogue is the foundation of your self-worth. When you speak kindly to yourself, when you affirm your own value, you cultivate a sense of self-belief that is unshakable. This self-belief is what will carry you through the tough times, the moments when doubt and fear creep in. It's what will keep you moving forward when the road gets hard. Because no matter what happens, you'll know deep down that you are enough, that you are capable, and that you are worthy of every good thing coming your way. So start today. Pay attention to the words you speak to yourself. If they don't align with the person you want to be, change them. Speak to yourself with love, with compassion, and with the understanding that you are always growing, always evolving. When you change your inner dialogue, you change your life. Because the way you talk to yourself determines how you show up in the world. And when you show up believing in your own worth, there's nothing you can't achieve. Perfectionism is a trap that many of us fall into, often without even realizing it. It can feel like a double-edged sword. On one hand, the desire to do things well can push us to achieve great things. But on the other hand, the relentless pursuit of perfection can stifle our creativity, hinder our progress, and keep us stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and frustration. We often set impossibly high standards for ourselves, believing that we must achieve a flawless outcome in order to be worthy or to feel successful. But in reality, this quest for perfection can be paralyzing. When we demand perfection from ourselves, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Life is inherently messy and unpredictable, and perfection is an unrealistic expectation. The truth is, no one is perfect. We all make mistakes, we all experience setbacks, and we all have moments of failure. It's part of being human, but instead of viewing these experiences as learning opportunities, perfectionists often see them as confirmations of inadequacy. They believe that if they can't do something perfectly, they shouldn't do it at all. This mindset leads to procrastination, inaction, and ultimately missed opportunities. Letting go of the need for perfection means embracing the idea that progress is more important than perfection. It means understanding that the journey is just as valuable, if not more so, than the destination. When we allow ourselves to be imperfect, we open the door to growth and discovery. We can take risks, try new things, and explore our passions without the weight of unrealistic expectations holding us back. We can learn from our mistakes, adapt, and become better, all while recognizing that imperfection is a natural part of the process. Releasing the need for perfection also requires us to shift our perspective on success. Instead of defining success as achieving a flawless outcome, we can redefine it as making progress, learning, and growing. Success becomes about showing up, putting in the effort, and being willing to take action even when we're not sure of the results. When we shift our focus from the end result to the effort we put in, we free ourselves from the suffocating grip of perfectionism and allow ourselves to enjoy the journey. It's important to recognize that perfectionism often stems from fear of judgment, fear of failure, or fear of not being enough. By acknowledging this fear, we can begin to dismantle the hold it has on us. We can challenge the belief that we need to be perfect in order to be accepted or valued. In truth, it's our authenticity, our willingness to be vulnerable, and our ability to embrace our flaws that resonate with others. People connect with realness, not with an unattainable ideal. As we work to release the need for perfection, we must also practice self-compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Understand that it's okay to make mistakes and that you are deserving of love and respect regardless of your performance. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small, and recognize that every step forward is a victory. The journey to releasing perfectionism is not an easy one, but it's incredibly rewarding. When you let go of the need to be perfect, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You give yourself permission to be human, to be flawed, and to be real. You allow yourself to create, to explore, and to live fully without the fear of judgment holding you back. So I encourage you to embrace imperfection. Take that first step towards letting go of the need for perfection and watch how it transforms your life. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, to learn from your experiences, and to grow. Because in the end, it's not about being perfect, it's about being true to yourself and living a life that reflects your unique journey. And that, my friends, is where the real magic happens. Letting go of the past is one of the most powerful and liberating choices you can make for yourself. We all carry experiences, memories, and emotional baggage from our past that can weigh us down, keeping us from fully living in the present and embracing the future. Whether it's regrets, mistakes, heartbreaks, or unresolved issues, holding onto the past can create a cycle of negativity that influences our thoughts, actions, and relationships. The truth is, while our past shapes us, it does not have to define us. One of the biggest obstacles to letting go is the fear of what that might mean. We often cling to our past because it feels familiar and comfortable, even if it's painful. The known can feel safer than the unknown, even if the unknown holds the potential for joy and growth. But by holding on to the past, we limit ourselves. We become stuck in a cycle of rehashing old stories, reliving past hurts, and allowing those experiences to dictate our current reality. This prevents us from moving forward and from experiencing the richness of life that exists in the present moment. Letting go of the past requires a conscious decision to release the hold it has over you. It starts with acknowledging that the past is just that, the past. It cannot be changed, and no amount of dwelling on it will alter the events that have already transpired. Instead of resisting the memories or allowing them to control you, it's essential to face them head-on. Understand that your experiences have contributed to who you are today, but they do not have to dictate who you will become. This process often involves forgiveness both of others and of yourself. Holding on to grudges and resentments can create a heavy burden that weighs you down. Forgiveness does not mean condoning or forgetting what happened. It means freeing yourself from the emotional ties that keep you anchored in pain. When you forgive, you release the power the past has over you. You create space for healing and for new experiences to enter your life. It's also vital to recognize the lessons that the past has taught you. Every experience, no matter how challenging, carries valuable insights. Reflect on what you've learned about yourself, your values, and what you want in life. Instead of viewing your past as a source of regret, reframe it as a teacher. By acknowledging the growth that has come from your experiences, you empower yourself to move forward with greater wisdom and resilience. Letting go of the past is a journey, not a destination. It won't happen overnight, and it's perfectly normal to have moments of doubt or reflection on what once was. But each day is an opportunity to practice releasing those old patterns and beliefs. Start by focusing on the present. Engage fully in your life right now. Cultivate mindfulness and appreciation for the beauty that surrounds you. Surround yourself with supportive people who encourage you to look ahead rather than dwell on what's behind. Remember that letting go is an act of self-love. It's about prioritizing your well-being and giving yourself permission to create a life that reflects your true desires and aspirations. When you release the past, you open up space for new possibilities, new relationships, and new experiences that align with who you are becoming. As you move forward, be gentle with yourself. Understand that this process takes time and requires patience. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and allow yourself to envision a future filled with hope, joy, and endless possibilities. When you let go of the past, you free yourself to embrace the life you truly want to live, unburdened by what was. In doing so, you become the architect of your own future, empowered to create a life that is meaningful and fulfilling. Committing to self-belief is one of the most transformative decisions you can make in your life. It's about choosing to trust in your own abilities, to recognize your worth, and to have faith in your capacity to navigate the challenges that come your way. Yet for many of us, this commitment does not come naturally. We often find ourselves wrestling with self-doubt, questioning our abilities, and allowing the negative voices, both internal and external, to dictate our self-perception. But what if you decided to silence those doubts? What if you chose to embrace self-belief as a guiding principle in your life? Self-belief is not just a nice idea, it's a crucial foundation for personal growth and success. When you believe in yourself, you approach life with confidence and courage. You're more willing to take risks, to step out of your comfort zone, and to pursue your dreams with determination. This belief becomes a driving force, propelling you forward even in the face of adversity. Conversely, when you lack self-belief, you may find yourself hesitating, second-guessing your decisions, and settling for less than what you truly want. You might become paralyzed by fear of failure or rejection, missing out on opportunities that could lead to growth and fulfillment. Committing to self-belief starts with self-awareness. It requires you to take a close look at the messages you tell yourself daily. Are they affirming and supportive, or are they critical and discouraging? Challenge any negative thoughts that arise. Instead of allowing them to take root, counter them with positive affirmations. Remind yourself of your strengths, your accomplishments, and the unique qualities that make you who you are. It's essential to cultivate a mindset that celebrates your individuality and recognizes the value you bring to the world. Part of committing to self-belief also involves setting realistic goals and celebrating your achievements, no matter how small. Every time you reach a milestone, acknowledge your efforts and remind yourself that you are capable of achieving more. This practice not only reinforces your belief in yourself, but also builds momentum. The more you accomplish, the more confident you become in your abilities. It's equally important to surround yourself with positivity and support. Seek out individuals who uplift and inspire you, those who believe in you and encourage you to pursue your dreams. Negative influences can sap your self-belief, so it's crucial to create an environment that nurtures your growth. Engage with people who challenge you to be your best self, who celebrate your victories, and who remind you of your potential. Committing to self-belief also means being kind to yourself during setbacks. Understand that failures and challenges are part of life. They do not define your worth or diminish your abilities. Instead of viewing them as reflections of your inadequacy, see them as opportunities for growth. Embrace the lessons they offer and use them to fuel your resilience. Remember, every successful person has faced setbacks. What sets them apart is their ability to bounce back and keep moving forward. Another vital aspect of this commitment is to practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a dear friend. When self-doubt creeps in, ask yourself how you would advise someone you love who is experiencing similar feelings. Often, we are much harsher on ourselves than we would ever be on others. By cultivating self-compassion, you foster an environment where self-belief can thrive. Lastly, committing to self-belief is about embracing your journey. Understand that this is not a destination but a lifelong practice. There will be ups and downs along the way, but the key is to keep returning to that commitment to believe in yourself. Each time you choose self-belief over self-doubt, you reinforce your identity as a capable, worthy individual. Over time, this commitment transforms the way you see yourself and the world around you. When you fully commit to self-belief, you unleash your potential. You open yourself up to new opportunities and experiences that align with your true desires. You become the architect of your own destiny, capable of shaping your life according to your vision. So make the choice today to commit to self-belief. Embrace it as your guiding light and watch how it transforms your life in ways you never thought possible. You are capable of greatness. It's time to believe it.